When we do opinion essays, it's basically the exact same structure we've been following for informative essays. Really, the only difference is that because it's an opinion essay, you obviously this time are going to want to use the word I to insert your own opinion statements. Obviously, when we were doing informative essays, it was all about subject matter, so we didn't use any I words, you words, any opinion statements. But this time, because we're doing opinion essays, we do want to use the word I. We do want to include our opinion statements. So when we look at the different parts of each paragraph, our introduction always comes first, no matter what type of essay we're doing. And with that, our first sentence of our essay, just like our other essays, is always our hook, our attention grabbing sentence to grab the reader's attention. After that, instead of just thinking of our main idea statement from our informative essays, this time it's going to be our main idea opinion statement. So the next thing after our attention grabber is going to be our opinion statement. So whatever the prompt is asking you for your opinion, this is where we're going to state it, followed by the 3 reasons to support that opinion. Okay, so those are the kind of things we want to include in our introduction. Our first body paragraph is just going to follow like our last informative essays. We always state our first sentence with our claim, and in this case, our first reason that supports our opinion statement. After that, we want to provide evidence from the text and our elaboration, our explanation of that evidence and why it supports our reasoning. After that, another piece of text evidence, and again, explaining how that text evidence is important. So again, we see that same format from our last essays. Second body paragraph, third body paragraph, again, following that same structure. And then our conclusion paragraph always finishes with any of our essays. We always finish with our conclusion paragraph. We want to wrap up our essays again with that opinion statement. We want to rephrase those 3 reasons so that way it's not identical to our introduction paragraph. And as always, we want to make sure we have a meaningful ending, satisfying conclusion. We don't want to just say the end or hope you liked my essay. We want to actually make sure we're wrapping up our essay and it has meaning to it. Looking more specifically at that essay structure, specifically in those body paragraphs, because I think this is where most friends need to do some more work. When we're doing those evidence pieces in our body paragraphs, remember we need to include our transitional words or phrases. Remember, that's a big part of the grading rubric. And those are things that we've discussed before. According to, and then the name of the text, according to the author's name. For example, the author states in the text on page blah, 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 the text states. So again, including those sentence starters for our transitional phrases, followed by then we actually have to include the sentence from the text, which always, always, always needs to be in quotation marks, followed by the page number citation. Remember, we are not claiming the author's words as our own. That would be plagiarism. So we need to always give text evidence and cite it as well. We always need to provide cited text evidence. Okay? Following the evidence from the text, we always then go on to our explanations, or as the rubric discusses them, elaborations, which basically, again, just explain how our evidence supports the claim. And in this case, for opinion, our reasoning. So this is important because this shows that, this proves that, this indicates that, this means that, this supports how, this explains how, this demonstrates how. The evidence suggests that, which means that. All of those different ways we can start our sentences to explain how that piece of evidence is important to support our claim. So again, just like we were talking about the transitional phrases for evidence, we still need to have those for elaboration as well. So all of this is still the same from our informative essays. For opinion essays, same exact thing. You can't just state an opinion without backing it up. So we always, always, always want to back up our claims with evidence and explain what that evidence means and why it supports our claim. Okay, so we still really, really need that. Very important. Looking at when we're typing our essays, you can still use our yellow and blue make green to make sure you're including our claim and evidence equals elaboration technique. You're more than welcome to keep with that strategy of highlighting your first sentence of your body paragraph in yellow, highlighting your evidence sentence in blue to make sure you're thinking of combining those in order to make your elaboration sentence highlighting in green to make sure you have everything, which again goes back to our checklist to make sure you are definitely including everything needed in our essays. If you're following the structure of your essay and you're including everything in that checklist, that's half the struggle. Boom, you already have half the points you need. From there, then it's going to look at content and word choice and that kind of stuff. But really, as long as you're following the basic structure and making sure you're including those checklist items, just like our informative essays, you're halfway there.